Hello everyone, Don here again with an update on the Logan metal lathe project. As you can see, it's pretty much all back together now. I've only got a couple things left to do. To start, this is what the machine looked like, the original finish. The tailstock still needs to be done. All these handles are all rusted. But that's what it looked like when I started. So now it looks like this. Everything's been completely stripped clean down to the bare metal, which is cast iron. And then I put a coat of primer paint on everything and then finished off with this aluminum Rust-Oleum color, spray can stuff. So to start with, this is a tag that goes on right here for the gear selections. It gives you all the speeds of the screw here for threading and cutting. There's 4 little rivets, twist rivets that press into there. And I've got 2 of the originals. 2 of them I had to drill out, they broke off. And then I still got to try and clean this up, but Logan still makes these available as a reproduction piece. So you can see I got the conversion done to a flat belt serpentine. It's a 8-rib automotive serpentine belt. Got the same size as the original leather belt. So when you lift the lid on this, you can see it loosens the belt so you can switch to different speeds. And then the back gear is adjusted. I can get her going here. Just trying to turn all the gears inside. But the back gear is a pin right here. Pull this little pin out, frees up the pulley from the gear set, and then you pull this knob, work it in. There you go. Now it's locked in the back gear. You can see the difference in the speed of the pulley now versus the gear. Get her going again. But that reduces it way down to like 8 RPM. So there's a little pin under here. You push that back in and then unlock it. And then you line this pin back up. There's an oil hole in this pulley, if I can find her. Right there is where you put some oil in that little set screw. So you line up the pin with that, and that's where the hole is to re-engage this part. 1 second. There. And that locks it back into forward gears. And this is the slowest of the 3 forward speeds. And then on the side cover, there's supposed to be a double pulley on here. There'll be a smaller one in the back that runs, move this belt to the top, then you got ×2 for all the speed ratios from this end. Got the switch mounted up there, and you got this cover here, showing you all the gears. I already got oil splattered in there because I went and oiled all these gears while it was running to get everything coated in a nice fresh coat of oil. But none of this stuff gets changed. The only gears that you would ever change would be this one, the 60 tooth. This 48 tooth would come up here in place of the 24 tooth. Where would it go? Here. Put that one down here and put this one up there, and this adjusts it so you can switch them out. That's a 48. You'd switch these two actually. This one stays the same. That's just a idler, and this is an idler. So anyway, it's got a little knob. This was nickel plated, this knob. And these are the changes for the different feeds and speeds. I'm going to go ahead and show you how everything works. We got the switch mounted so the thing will run in forward and reverse now. This is forward. You'll be able to see that spindle take off. That's forward, reverse, like so. And then if you engage this mechanism, I think we got it. That should engage the lead screw. That's pretty fast right now. Over here we have a clutch to engage the drive. That's how you power feed when you're cutting. select it down here on this position. Now you fire feed on this. Put it in neutral, doesn't do anything. The neutral position is for this, threading. And you got your follower here for threading. That's the basics operation. This mechanism disengages the lead screw drive. Push it all the way down. Everything's nice and tight because it put all new bearings and everything. Bushings. Here we go. And then now it reverses the drive. Reverses this drive. So I got it running in, it's on the high speed of the V-belts. I still need to get the little rubber bumpers that go in here so this won't be rattling on the lid. Everything else is pretty much done. Just got to tear this down, strip it, clean it, rebuild it. Not much really in there, just needs good cleaning, blasting. I'll sandblast it and polish this up and do the same as I did to the rest of the carriage. I did end up ordering a multi-fix tool post assembly. It's a cam lock similar to my wedge type on this one, except for when you're using this little style, you loosen the handle, take the tool post off. Well, the multi-fix is the same setup. You got replaceable these and a cam lock. But when you loosen this up, it will also turn this. You have 40 positions. You can spin the whole thing. This one you got to literally loosen the wrench if you want to turn the angle of these. But that multi-fix tool, once you loosen this up, pull this off, you can spin it where you want it, drop this down, lock it, and it locks both of them. The 40 positions are every 9 degrees on that other one. So I got that coming out of China. I'll probably end up taking this chuck off, get me a backing plate to fit the Logan, and then I'll put this on there when I need a 3-jaw chuck. Like I said, I do have the 4-jaw chuck down here that's going to need, a lot of these parts I'm going to have to clean up. Most of them will get an acid bath. While I was cleaning up with my blasting machine here, it didn't seem like it was running right. And here I checked, the motor wasn't running. It was just humming. So what happened was water got in it. Either, I doubt it came in through here. I'm thinking it's more likely it came up through. I mean, it's sealed pretty good. It's lasted for about 1.5 years, but with this fine powder in there, the grit, that's all big the impeller is. All the pieces and parts for it. It's amazing that little impeller fits in here, and it's a really big cavity in there for the amount of water it pushes. Very small. So the motor still ran. Once I pulled it apart, give it a spin, it takes off running, but when I opened it up, a whole bunch of water ran out of it. I'm surprised it didn't blow the breaker. And this is basically the motor right here. So it's got the glass beads in the bearings, I can feel it and hear it, and it pretty much just rusted stuff up. But it still works. I can clean it up, put some fresh bearings on it, put it back together, but it'll probably still have the same problem with getting water in it. So I'm going to probably redesign that again. I may, I've seen Vixen, I believe, is the model. Their machine, they have on the back of the machine is just like the front. They have the motor mounted out here with a shaft going through the tunnel here into the hopper, and then the pump is physically down in the bottom. I could literally take this little guy, either use some of this stuff or make up a new thing. Maybe close up the gaps on this so it's not so big. Make it smaller, and it might make a little pressure, because this literally doesn't make pressure. It's a volume thing but no pressure, and it doesn't make pressure because the clearance is in here. I mean, you've got like a 2-inch cavity in here. This thing is just literally floating around in there. I don't know how it moves water, but it does. So I might build something and run a shaft down in there. Best thing would be to try to keep the motor out of the water, but again, that was just a cheap Chinese pump off of eBay. I don't think they were 30 bucks, 20, 30 bucks. But it was just something to test and try, and I got almost 2 years out of it, so happy with that. Again, just got some parts cleaned up. Oh, I got my lamp yet. Still have to clean up this. restore that, get that mounted on there, because it's a real pain in the butt trying to see when you're cutting on a lathe. That's why I got this one setting up here, so I can really see what I was doing. I had to polish some parts for the lathe to put it back together. So, all right, now I'm pretty much going to be done with this for a while. This thing's going to take 3 to 4 weeks to come in before I can put that on. I was going to polish up this collar, but my machine wasn't working right. So I can still tear that down, blast it, paint it, and get it back on here. But I've pretty much replaced everything I can replace in this thing, gear-wise and bushings. So it all should work nice and fine. So, like I say, one of the items I want to work on is that propeller hub. And I'm always using the lathe for something or another. I put a 3/4 horse motor on it, got that wired up, and then I took off the 1 horse that was on there that was 3450, which is even faster than this. So, well, I'm going to have to drag some stuff out of here, move the plane, get this in the back of the shop, clean out that back corner, move things around, get this back into its position. Need to get me a nice accurate machinist level that I can lay on this thing and check it and make sure it's not twisted, and to level it up on the floor. I still have to find some adjusting feet. I was looking in the store for some 9/16 bolts. They don't have them. They go from 1/2 inch to 5/8. The ideal thing would be some adjustable feet, and I did find some of them in McMaster car. So, but I don't know, they were almost like $10 a piece for a 9/16. So that's where I'm at. The thing is heavy. It's meant to be heavy because you can see it tensions the belt when it goes down. You can see that shaft back here pushing back as it closes. And again, the adjustment's right there for adjusting that. Basically, you want that so it kind of floats a little bit, and then the buttons on there will keep it from rattling. It was a little noisier than I expected, but everything's working good. It'd be nice to try it out sometime. Okay, well, let's see what we want to work on next. I don't know if there's much I can do with the Corsair. The temperatures are finally dropping. It was only in the low 60s today, but it pretty much rained all day, on and off. So that's where we're going to be at for now. But looks pretty good. Should give me years of use. Everything cleaned up nice. Alright, I'm not sure where I'm going to go with on the Corsair. I still do need to do a little work on the landing gear doors. I got to make a little mechanism for the gear to hit that pushes the doors closed, and that might be a little test for this machine. But it's going to have to wait till I get this tool post. I have the original lantern style, they call it, but those things are pretty much junk, obsolete, and not even going to bother with it. So, but as far as Corsair is concerned, I can't do any epoxy or painting. The temperatures are too cool for that. But now you can see I got this mess back here to clean up. A lot of this stuff was from all my blasting mess again. So I'll leave the drill press probably where it is, maybe move it over a little bit, move that furnace. I got a metal brake bender I made over there. I'll clean the corner out and basically put it right in that section. And then slide the wings around. Even that press there may end up going back in that corner as well. After a while, this bench back in the corner for the cutting of the foam, I may not need that anymore, and either tear it down or use it for a bench for something else. But the wings are done. I've been doing some vinyl cutting for a friend, and the vinyl cutters were working flawlessly, so I can pretty much cut all my stencils for painting the insignias back here. And I'll cut out stencils, or not stencils, but the actual vinyl lettering for the end numbers. The end number, there'll be an 8-6 right about there under the cockpit, and then the stars and bars go back here, and then one on the top wing, one on the bottom wing of each side of the plane. There's only one goes on the upper surface of one side and the other goes on the lower. So looking at this Corsair here, the insignia is on the bottom right. So I'll have to double check it, but that's essentially what it's going to look like. I was cleaning the part on my grinder here and it chucked it and hit this and just shattered the glass, so it's all over the place. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this week's update. Not sure what I'll be doing next weekend, if I'll have a video or not. Maybe I'll try and find something to do as long as the weather holds out. Had the torpedo heater running most of the day today just to keep it warm in here, and it was not bad, but it starts getting a little cooler now and it's going to not be good. Alright, as always people, thanks for watching, and feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns, and I will answer them as they come along, and appreciate everybody taking their time to watch my videos. So this will probably be the last major update for this. My next videos will, I'll probably be tackling the glass bead cabinet. I need to get that back together, so maybe I'll do some videos when I get that up and running again, or get some parts figured out. I may have to make some stuff, and this lathe will work for turning the shafts and things for a different setup. So, alright guys, that's going to be it for this week. Again, thanks for watching. This is Dino Don out.